This is AInvest.com, so AInvest.com. And the big thing is, it is an AI content generated website. Well, lads, we have a busy one to talk about today, so we'll just get straight into things, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my screen and we'll get right into our weekly updates. And we have a very, very big one to discuss today, which is, of course, AIinvest.com, which is an absolute anomaly in the fact that the content is AI produced, but the results are absolutely staggering. So that is going to be our deep dive.
Yeah, that's fairly mental, actually.
Yeah, crazy. So, Mark, you're on this?
Oh, yes. So this one, this is kind of doing the rounds this week. So referral traffic from ChatGPT to websites is down 52% since the middle of July. This is according to Profound, who analysed more than 1 billion ChatGPT citations and 1 million different referrals. They took things from a sample of sites across different industries. So like the key kind of things they found were that Reddit citations were up 87% since I think July 23rd, the article said, and it's now topping like over 10% of all ChatGPT citations. Wikipedia, which had a big drop in early July, jumped up 62% and is now 13% of the citation share. And so like the top three sites that ChatGPT cites now is Wikipedia, Reddit, and TechRadar, which account for like 22%. The kind of research is pointing to that ChatGPT is kind of favoring answer first sources, while branded websites look to be losing visibility and your potential referral clicks. A lot of people were pointing to the ChatGPT 5 launch as having an impact, but the Profound guys are saying this is not the case, and that OpenAI manually reweighted its retrieval system to favor useful answers. So things like branded content that prioritizes, say, conversions, so things that scheduled demo, stuff like that is getting passed over in favor of things like Reddit and Wikipedia, where you get kind of instant answers by default and they directly answer user queries. So it's a big opportunity, I guess, for brands who are willing to shift from conversion to answer first content, but it's a bit of a shift,
Yeah, it's a big shift. Jeez, I'm not sure most people, the only reason people produce content is for that answer first, but
yeah,
maybe the call to actions in the content need to change really then and go to a more conversational search. So it'll be something to look at.
So this is quite a cool one. So Google's getting a sort of kind of like a verified badge. So Google Verified is going to make it easier to find trusted local businesses advertising on Google. So basically, there will be some kind of sort of vetting process, kind of I guess that like business or service will need to do to get this badge. But
Yeah, I saw that. They, I actually have. There's one request gone in already. They're looking for like their CRO document or a bill or proof you own the business, that kind of thing.
Okay, I was wondering what it would be now.
Yeah, it's the same kind of with the Google Ads. They make you fill in, like they want a tax form or they want the business owner ID, something like that, and of course licenses and things.
Yeah. That'd be very handy though, I feel like, even being on the other side of it, you kind of which businesses are verified.
Which businesses are legit and anyone's that are
Yeah.
scamming.
It's funny that verified badge like is just such a universal thing now, like in so much apps. Like it just
Yeah, I know there's ones you can pay for and there's ones you earn.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Not the Twitter one.
Yeah, I suppose that lost a bit of credibility.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, this was the one I've seen the SEO community kind of talking a lot about this one, so I said we have to comment on it. It's just too big not to. This is AIinvest.com, so AInvest.com, and the big thing is it is an AI content generated website. And as you can see here, over the last 2 to 3 months, they've shot from about 70,000 searches per month up to 6.8 million, almost 7 million organic users. I have never seen a success story like this in such a short space of time. It's like completely unheard of. Now we're going to take you through some of the strategies that they've been doing, but like all their authors, this expertise, authority, experience, and trustworthiness. That's what Google wants to rank in their search engines and to show up. Well, now they have an AI. They're AI authors, clearly AI. They're not real authors on the site, from what we can see. Now, I've only done a little bit of searching, and I've been looking at what other people have been saying, and they're the same. But this is an example of someone who doesn't seem to have any link to their LinkedIn profile. So having that in our advice, and making sure that you have your author pronounced, that's the only way your content's going to get really ranking very high in these high authority niches, doesn't seem to be the case. So AI, not real authors, but they seem to have a few of them now, who will speak about certain ones. So like Charlie Hayes here will speak about AI technology and economic developments, while they have someone else, another AI person, who's the like Bitcoin expert. And they even have some brands names that are going in there as well. But the only person, when I looked up LinkedIn, and again, I saw other people comment on this, was Adam Shapiro. So he was a news anchor for Yahoo Finance, and I think with the Fox Business Network. But he's the only one I could see really that was legitimately involved in the business that didn't look like AI in their profile. Now, obviously, they must have investors, but this was interesting to see. And it's interesting to see that his own title is an AI-powered content creator now, which is absolutely crazy. Some of the things within the content I thought were excellent. They have this chatbot called Amy, but it summarizes the article, which is very cool. But it also has other sections that I'll talk about in a second. But the big thing I couldn't believe is it had the disclaimer down the very end of the website actually says the news articles available on this platform are generated in whole or in part by artificial intelligence and may not have been reviewed or fact-checked by human editors. While we make reasonable efforts to ensure the quality and accuracy of the content, we make no representations of warranties, express or implied, as to the truthfulness, reliability, completedness, or timeliness of any information provided. It's like they're just literally an AI summary, and they actually put in the sources. So I'd love to know how their process is. Do they just like put in 5 sources and they ask Amy to write up an article for them? Are they using ChatGPT, Gemini? But they are putting in the sources. They are saying it's AI. They have AI authors. So it's, to me, a complete kind of change. And they even have these cool features on here as well, where the chatbot is up, where you can interact with it, and just it gives some stuff. And I can only imagine how valuable this is for stockbrokers or investment firms or private equity, because help me analyze today's hottest market trends, and they're just pulling from reliable sources in an AI. It's absolutely crazy how this has exploded, but it is helpful. And again, they are citing things, but I can only imagine how many e-letters, their main call to action seems to be getting people to invest in the newsletter or join the newsletter, where people get stuff to their inbox, and they've all the different ways to do it. Your e-letter, join with Google, Apple, X, whichever. And I saw that I believe it was it $5.99 to become a premium subscriber, which was very, very, you can only imagine 6.8 million users going on.
Yeah.
Some of the areas that I know this is a bit more difficult to see, but Nvidia stock, this is a screenshot of SEMrush, and it shows all the positions. They're in the top stories for all of these. For Meta stock, Nvidia stock, Uber stock, they're getting into the top stories under all of these search terms.
Wow.
Yeah. The other thing they have is, even in the organic positions, they're like Bank of America, Ripple, 1,300 searches a month. They're position 1. Nvidia Outlook, number 1. They're number 1 on huge amount of search results in the search engines. Again, according to SEMrush. And the one thing that I found extremely funny was the fact that AInvest, which is an AI created content, all AI authors, is also now showing up number 1 in the AI author field. So if you look at the AI section, they're now getting into the top result, the top citation in the AI overviews, and it's AI generated content. And it's for things like, is Musk leaving Doge, or but yeah, it's funny to see how this is working at the moment, but like massive success story. And this will probably give birth to a huge amount of websites that are doing this. But
And like by right, this should have performed badly, is it? Like Google would say this is the exact wrong thing to do.
yeah, well, if you think about it, right, with some of these now, if they have editors who they say it may not have been touched by human editors, but some of them may. They might have like really good humanizing prompts to and this whole style guide that makes it unique to them. There's lots of things they could have done that we wouldn't know about in the back end of their processes. But yeah, it's if you think about it, content syndication websites, which would just take other people's content and publish it on theirs, that eventually did very poorly in Google search results at one point. It was a strategy at one point to get into news sections, but this is completely different because it rewrites it and it has several sources. So this is probably going to give birth to a new form of content creation out there. I can only imagine what it's going to be like in a couple of years. But
It's mizzle.
yeah,
It's
now
actually mizzle.
this is doing unbelievable at the moment. That doesn't mean that Google aren't going to write an algorithm that says penalize it. I'd be very surprised if it didn't, because like you have all the sources that they had back here. Like Reuters and Fox Business and even News, but they're able to show up above them because they've syndicated three and have three different sources. It's life isn't very fair.
Yeah, you wonder, is it getting too much press now as well, or are Google going to do something about it?
Oh, I'd say so. I'd say so because I saw some of the main SEO guys in the world talking about it as well, and it's like, right, there'll be massive analysis about this, but I just wanted to do a quick one today. But yeah, anyway, besides the AI, we have the marketing tip of the week.
Oh yeah, marketing tip of the week. It's I suppose it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Sure, we all know it's hard to come up with new content ideas, isn't it, for blogs and social media, newsletters, articles. So that's where repurposing your content comes in. So the idea here is if you have a really, really good piece of content or something that works, you want to kind of squeeze every last bit of value out of it. So you take something that you've already created, like a good blog, an article, a podcast episode maybe, and you repackage it into smaller kind of pieces in different formats for different channels. So it kind of helps, I suppose it helps you kind of to freshen up the content a little bit. It gives you kind of a bit of better reach. And it saves you a little bit of time as well. So there's kind of examples up there on the screen. So like your blog posts, FAQs, ebooks. So like let's just use a podcast here, for example. So what we do with these is we break them down like the little snippets, and then we reuse them across like our socials, or you could use them for ads. If you have like a really good blog, you could break that into an infographic. The opposite way, if you had a really good infographic, you could break it into a blog. It's just kind of an easy way to get the most value out of your content. And like one really good piece of content can give you like a week's worth of things for all your different channels.
Probably more in some cases. Like the blog post one was always something that really annoyed me, when someone would spend a huge amount of time drafting up a 1,500 word or 2,000 word blog post. They spend a whole day on it. And
Yeah,
then publish it on their website and share it once on LinkedIn or once wherever, and that's it. No one
that's
ever
it.
has
Yeah,
eyes
it's
on it
once and
again.
done kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah. By doing this, you're right. You can share it to your YouTube, all the different channels, and as I said, like one piece of content could turn into 10 potential
yeah,
things. And again, you can repurpose it or republish it with different angles on the content as well. Have your own comments on things.
Especially like the video stuff too. Like we have like a much better chance with the short stuff, probably even, they're more watchable, they're quicker. Like that's what people want
yeah.
anyway, kind of like, isn't it? So
That's it in a nutshell. Yeah, it has to be. People like we're all skimmers nowadays, unless we have potential interest. So that's what's happening. People are just busy. They're on their phone on the couch and they're consuming something. So you just want to show up top of mind, but it's to be there consistently is the main thing, right? And that's what those articles do. So yeah, great tip. Repurpose.
Great once, distribute forever. Is that what they say?
Yeah, yeah.
The trend of the week. So the trend of the week, there was a couple of them now this week. But
Rose of Tralee.
biggest one was the Rose of Tralee. I was looking back at search trends. I only looked at Ireland, but I was looking back at search trends, and Arsenal v Man United was a big one last Sunday.
Oh, I'm not a massive fan of the football anymore. I am an Arsenal supporter since I was 10, but I've fallen out of love with it, to be honest. But I was putting in some jeers into the groups. All the WhatsApp groups filled with United fans.
But then you see the yellow line, because Premier League was back as well last weekend, so that's been kind of tipping away, dropped off a little bit, but you'd imagine that'll pick up again now coming into this weekend. But the big one is Rose of Tralee and Rose of Tralee 2025. I actually saw a reel there during the week of, it was a guy trying to explain the Rose of Tralee to a non-Irish person.
I'd say it'd be difficult enough.
Yeah, it was like, so it's a beauty contest. Oh no, God no. It's a talent contest. Oh no, they can do something, but that's not what they're judged on. Yeah, it's a bit of a random one.
It's still such a big thing. It's funny.
I've never actually watched it, to be honest. But yeah, maybe something. All right, so helpful tool of the week. What do you have here?
Oh yeah, the helpful tool of the week. So we all know how important having non-broken links on your site is. So this is a tool called Check My Links. It's another free Chrome extension. So what this does is you go in and select it from I have it pinned to the top of my extension bar, but it does a crawl of your site and it audits your links, and it'll tell you which ones are valid, which ones are broken, if there's any redirect. So it's just a quick and easy way to do it. I mean, if you
have a redirect on that page, we'll have to have a look.
Yeah, it's a valid redirect though, so it's okay. Do you know, like, if you don't have a tool where you can audit a site and check for broken links, because I remember having to do this myself. You had to go in and just manually click on every link on a page, and this is kind of a handy way of just saving you time. But it's very good. I would recommend it.
Yeah, that looks like a good one. I like to look at that now.
I see the kind of green there now. Our website doesn't look like that, but it just highlights the links in the page. Yeah.
Do you know what? That could be a handy one, because sometimes I'm going through links on websites and they have the same. They don't actually have different CSS for their links, so it's not like a blue on black.
Yeah.
So that's really handy for standing out. I wonder, does it do anything else, like a no follow link or a follow link or a sponsored link, anything like that? But anyway, it's very handy. Very handy. Yeah. Okay, so helpful too. Right. That's the experts.
Are the experts ready for a few questions?
We are, I think.
Right, so first of all, kind of on the topic of discussion, will AI content rank in search engines? Have we answered that already?
We can ask AInvest. It definitely can. Do you know what? Over the last maybe 2 years, Google's been updating their documentation a lot on this. The first one said that AI content wasn't, and then it said, yes, AI content will rank, and we do like it as long as it's helpful and it has a human element to it. What they don't want is, contrary to what AInvest is a programmatic SEO, which is where you just like write a script that AI will generate pages simply to rank in search results without providing any value at all. But AInvest does well because it does provide value. It gives you the graphs, it gives you the updates, it gives you the sources. It's just, it just doesn't have the expert on it, but it's still doing unreal. But and I reckon it'll be niche dependent. Any thought leadership stuff will still rank, but it might not be as good as something that's originally done. You'd want to add your own information to it. But that's where I'd see AI content.
So, what's an SEO rule you knowingly break on a regular basis?
Character limits on title tags and meta descriptions.
That's your one? You break those?
Like, for Joe, the industry best practice would say title tags need to be between 50 and 55 characters.
Yeah,
I think you go a little bit over, up to.
Yeah, and what's happening as well is sometimes the brand name is in the title tag, and it'll strip it out anyway. Google will strip out and rewrite your titles. So so that is true.
And with meta descriptions as well, like if you have them in there, there's supposed to be no more than 155 characters, no less than 130, I think. But depending on who you listen to, what you read, you don't need them at all because Google just rewrites them anyway, unless
Yeah,
it's
to be
really,
honest,
really
I
good.
see a lot. I still put it
Yeah,
in as part of my optimization to say I'm going to try and get my keyword in the title. But
yeah,
yeah, the other one, maybe an SEO rule, is it's not a rule more than a statistic. You're saying, the top 10 results in Google usually have over 1,000 words or 2,000 words, and you should write your content for that. We've been noticing that if you write 300 words, but it's very helpful, it's direct to the point, it answers the question, it can actually do very well. Now, it all depends on who else is in that search result, but that might be one.
Okay. So, does updating old blog posts actually help with rankings?
Yeah, and it's a massive tactic. It
mm,
was a huge tactic for a lot of SEOs for years. Google kind of came out and said, if that's your only tactic, you're not adding value with the republish. Google's able to
yeah,
see a republish date and an original posting date. You're meant to keep the original posting date, but the update will take over. But I find it's good to do, whether it's changing out your dates sometimes from 2024 to
mm,
2025. It's adding in like content changes and advice changes, just like that AI one, like Google does in their documentation. You have to update important articles and evergreen articles that might have more
yeah,
relevant information. But it definitely does. And with LLMs now, like ChatGPT, their algorithms are seemingly favoring more recent content. So if there's a particular piece of content that would require fresher marks, so like something in July 2025
mm,
over someone who wrote something in April or maybe last year, that would get preference.
Yeah. And would
So,
you only update stuff that has stopped performing, or you would do it even if it's still ranking quite highly? Is it a bad thing to like republish it then,
oh
or?
no, that's it.
yeah,
There's two reasons you can do it. I suppose from us, because we focus so much on SEO, but there's also is to make sure the information is correct and to show
mm.
freshness for users as well, to show
And
that
you
you're
should
really on
be
top.
doing like a little mini content audit or review for each post or page before you go republishing it.
Yeah,
Just because sometimes, as Kane said, like if something is very outdated or obsolete, then there's probably no need to update it. Like something, I don't know, something that was relevant in 2013. You mightn't even
that
need
that'll
to
be
go
get
ahead
it
and
off the
update it now.
site.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take it off the site.
yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
there's ways that we look at it as well. Sometimes we'll have a should it be removed? Should
mm,
you get some of the content and can it be combined with a different article that
yeah,
might be in the same topic? But should you take out stuff, update it? It all depends really on what way you want the article and if it's still a search trend. But if generally, if something is performing and you notice content decay where you're dropping off, I'd republish. Yeah. But I would try and add in some extra information, whether it be FAQs, thoughts, adding in some
yeah,
sort of extra media, changing the title tag slightly just to make it a thing. But you
yeah,
should never change your URL because that URL will have a huge amount of history behind it. So if you had links from like say we got from the New York Times, well then, if you updated that, that would be a 301 redirect on that. You'd want to keep it. And that's why we always, we kind of, unless you're a news site, um, we don't like to have dates in URLs.
yeah.
So, are XML sitemaps still essential in 2025?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like an XML sitemap is, if you think about it, it's the submission or you submitting a map of all the content that you wanted indexed in Google. And when you submit the sitemap to Google Search Console or Bing Webmaster Tools, you're telling it to search. This is all the content that I want you to index. And what'll happen is in Search Console, it'll tell you then if there's an issue with that content. Maybe it's not ranking, but it is in the sitemap, and they'll say it's like crawled, currently not discovered, or because it's not good enough, or it can tell you indexing problems. But generally, yeah, sitemap is the first thing. It's just to help with the crawlability, really.
mm,
Yeah. Okay. So, how does a slow website affect SEO?
Yes. Look, just think of the user experience.
yeah,
If you're clicking from a search result or from social media or from an e-letter and you're going through to a website, uh, and it takes 3 seconds to load, you're probably just going to go,
It's
like
really
this.
one of the most painful things, isn't it?
it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
one of the most painful things ever.
Yeah, yeah. It's like this is nowadays people wouldn't have survived. Imagine going back to dial-up internet. But like that's what's happening. It's a UX thing. But there are like your reports in Search Console and the Core Vitals does tell you if you're getting the green mark, and it probably is a certain ranking factor to show up in the top of the search results. So the way I see it, though, a lot of the time when people come to me, should I spend €1,000 on content or €1,000 on a developer to get my site from um, 1 second to zero point 0.5 second? Well, I'd be looking at who's number one in Google and doing analysis of theirs and saying, like, if they're 1 second and I'm zero point 0.9, I'm okay. You should always improve on it, but and that's kind of the general.
Yeah. So, how do you catch false positives when rankings or traffic go up for irrelevant reasons? So, I think we had one kind of recently enough where something was ranking quite highly, and we were, happy with that. And then the next day it had shot way down again. So it was kind of just up for like a day. So I guess that was a bit of a false positive.
Oh, we got to like position 3 under Solar Panels Ireland, was it?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, look, that and then went back down to position 18. Yeah, look, that one is there can be many reasons why it happens. So there can be the search engine factors, which is the search engines are trying to work out the value of that piece of content. Is it good? Is it bad? Like new websites, sometimes if you publish a new piece of content, it can go up to the top. Then Google will give it a test, but then you might go back in a day and all of a sudden it's like page 5. It's search engines testing the content really to see the variable, but over time it starts to come back then. But how do you catch false positives? Well, really, that's how you'd see it. Is your tools would find it for you.
Yeah.
Like SEMrush spotted that one.
Or what about like looking at your sources of traffic, maybe? Like if look at it by channel, so like organic or referral. Like if you had a massive spike in referral from one single source, like that would often point to spam or something, right?
Oh, yeah, that'd be website traffic going into your Google Analytics and picking it up.
Yeah.
But if it's just in the SERPs where it's in the search results itself,
Okay.
then it would be more down to it's usually down to testing. Google trying to work out if you deserve there, and there's that's Google's reason, but there might be other things where your content could serve a 503. Your bandwidth could run out. There can be small errors happen with your hosting company, and that can have an impact on rankings. But it is a big one to look into.
And actually, this is a random one, but we remember a client of ours got picked up in Google Discover in the US, and they ended up getting like 20% extra traffic from California.
Oh, was that to do
On
with
electric chargers?
electric cars?
Electric
Yeah.
cars, yeah. We got a piece of content picked up and it was number one in the US, and that ended up driving all the traffic to the Irish site.
Yeah, looked amazing in the report.
Yeah, it looks great in the in analytics, but it's not so good.
No,
false positive. So
yeah,
yeah, those ones like that's to do with the. It's just a really good piece of content got picked up on an international level, and it does happen. And again, maybe it got featured in a lot of inbound links went to it, but eventually that dropped out of search pretty quick when the US search engine resolved or kind of realized, hang on, this is geared only towards the Irish market and it's not very useful. And they're probably using user metrics in the US where they went on to the website and there was like a .ie, and then all of a sudden they drop out. This isn't relevant to me. And then all those signals of people clicking to the site and then clicking off very quickly would, that would drive your rankings down as well.
Yeah.
That was a really good chat. So yeah, I suppose summarize AI content doing very well for a specific company. That's probably going to be something we're going to see a bit more of now. People might be a bit more cautious and have genuine editors on the site, but that is a really good use case for companies to kind of start looking at that.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, lads. Have a good
Thanks,
weekend.
lads.
Talk to you
Talk
soon.
to you later.
Okay.